you're quarantining at today. And I guess I'll go down the line. Dave?
Dave Emmel from the Small Business Development Centers of Michigan.
Okay, and I'm Jamie Westfall, Mackinac City Chamber. Kel?
Hi, Kelly View, Mackinac City Chamber.
Tanya?
Hi, Tanya Fagan with Comfort Keepers in home care, and I'm in my office in Petoskey. I'm the only one in the office ever, so it's I don't have to go anywhere else.
Emma Cook.
Hi, Emma Cook here with Enbridge, and I'm quarantined in my home here in Mackinac City.
Megan?
Hi, I'm Megan Michalak, and I'm representing the pageant committee, and I'm sitting at home in Mackinac City.
Terry?
Hi, I'm Terry Peterson with the Lighthouse View Motel, and we are at home here at the Lighthouse View Motel.
Vicky?
Vicki Tyson and my husband Greg here, and we're with Tyson's Gift Shop, and we are in our home right now.
Bridget? Oh, Bridget, your mic's up. You go.
I'm sorry, I had it muted.
Sorry.
Bridget Puckett Parker, currently in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I'm representing my business, Legal Shield and Identity Theft.
Mary Lou?
I'm Mary Lou Peters. I'm a watercolor artist, and I sell my work to retailers in town. I'm at home this morning.
Donna?
Donna Hunt, representing Hunt's Mackinac Pasty and Cookie Company, and I am at home.
Pat?
Pat Bell, Brown Motors in Petoskey, and I'm working on my home today.
And Sandy?
I'm Sandy. I'm at the newspaper office, aka my house.
Lisa?
Lisa Foyge, icebreaker in Mackinac Maritime Museum, and I am home in beautiful downtown Carp Lake.
John?
John Lemansky. I'm at home. I'm representing myself. Also just listening in anything for the anything that people have with the village.
Patrick?
That's me.
Yep. Patrick Verhoff? Having a hard time hearing you.
I'm sorry, Patrick
Okay,
Verhoff,
there.
Marshall Judge in Mackinac City.
Thanks. And Kim? Kim Phillips? Kim, are you out there? I think you might be, we're not hearing you. Hey, Kim? Okay. I don't know why I can't hear Kim, but I guess I will move on with that. I don't know how to get a hold of her. Okay. All right. Anyway, I guess I wanted to, I know you probably have a lot of financial questions, and I recognize that I'm probably not the best resource for financial things. So I asked Dave Emmel to come in today to our meeting. He is, one second. He is the Associate Regional Director and Consultant of the Michigan Small Business Development Center. And he is a really great resource for all things financial economy, small business. So I'm hoping that he might be able to answer your questions better than me. So David, if you would tell us about, I had a few things on my agenda that I had curiosities about that I'm thinking our business owners might as well, but then I'll just let you have at it. I guess my curiosity is, what do you think the damage report is for Mackinac City. I'm kind of thinking we're going to lose May, a lot of May at least, and school groups, all those school groups that are canceling right now. I'm just kind of curious what long-term repercussions you'll think that will have on our economy. Thinking about the trickle-down effect, you know, when these businesses have a bad year, what are they going to cut and cancel, and you know, how long will that recovery period last? And then other questions I have for you is if you could talk about different financial solutions like business loans, SBA loans, some of that MEDC money, which is just not going to go very far. Any of that you can talk about, and go.
All right. Thanks. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's been a wild ride the last week and a half, a little more than a week, well, really 2 weeks. A lot happening in terms of duration. One of the things that is being talked about, at least at a federal level right now through the Small Business Administration, and this is in the context of the emergency loans that are available right now to businesses. What they're looking at is about a 6-month planning window in terms of cash flows for businesses. So as they're looking at a business, when the business submits its application for an emergency disaster loan, they're looking at about a 6-month window for cash and cash availability. And so that at least gives me an indication right now that they're looking at that kind of length of time in terms of how long this might last, recognizing that that could be shortened, could be extended. The way that I think maybe best to think about that 6-month window is, you know, we've talked a lot about shortening or flattening the curve as it relates to exposure and self-quarantining and exposure to the virus. It's very similar if you think about a curve in terms of business impact, where once we kind of, I think, get to the middle of the curve and the top of the curve, and the curve starts to kind of come down, the expectation is that businesses will start to reopen. So those that are currently permitted to operate in terms of essential or critical infrastructure businesses, we might start to see some easing of that in Michigan and across the United States. And so we would expect that, you know, that 6-month window, we're hopeful that at the end of that 6-month window, everybody's back up and running. 6 months for us in Northern Michigan is a long time. That cuts deep into our heavy season in terms of tourism. So a lot of the things that we're working with clients on right now across Michigan, but specifically in our heavy tourism populations of Northern Michigan, from Traverse City, Petoskey, Mackinac City, Sheboygan, Alpena, all kind of around the lakeshore, is really working with clients to help them focus on reserving as much cash as possible right now. So if you're a business that is sitting on a lot of cash, that's a good position to be in. The challenge for a lot of, I'm guessing, a lot of the retail businesses, they've already purchased inventory for the year, for the season coming up. And so questions about whether or not you've started to take delivery of inventory, and where your cash position is as a business related to inventory. The other challenge I think we're going to be in for too is the, I believe it's the J1 visa program. In talking to a number of the larger hotels and restaurants that are pretty heavily dependent upon that workforce, pretty likely that process is going to be stalled for a pretty lengthy period of time. And so I know there was just an article published in the Petoskey News Review the other day about the influx of employees coming into Northern Michigan this month, starting now into May in preparation for the season. Going to be some real challenges with that, and businesses are already starting to feel the crunch of the inability to get employees. So there's a lot of stuff happening. let me just kind of open it up for any questions that maybe I can try and address. And then after that, I can kind of get into a little bit of what's happening at a national and state level in terms of some of the disaster relief loan packages and grant programs that are becoming available. So anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
I
This
do
is
have a
Vicki.
question.
Good morning, Vicki.
Okay, good morning. I have a question. We have a retail store in Mackinac, and it's a gift store, and kind of like what you've described right now, we're closed, and we normally would be closed right now, with anticipating usually opening the end of April, 1st of May. And now if we're gonna, I do have, like you said, we have purchased a lot of our inventory for this year with shipments coming in. Some shipments have already come in, and I have put some of them out a little bit, but just not knowing how long, to know like if I'm going to need how much, cash down the road and things like that. And I heard about with this stimulus package that I thought the way you get a loan is they said just go to your bank, and the bank would do the loan that way, and then there would be the government would step in on that too. Now I don't know what all that process is, or if I heard that right, or at what point, because they said you should go apply for them now because it's going to take a long time, and I don't know if what I'm hearing is true or not.
Okay. First of all, apologies on my video that you're seeing on your screen. I'm having some internet issues at my home right now, so I keep going in and out, but I am also on my phone, so I'm watching and monitoring on 2 different devices, so you shouldn't lose me via my phone. Thanks for the question, Vicki. So there are 3 different loan products out there right now, and the first one is what's called EIDL, and that is through the Small Business Administration at a federal level. So that product is intended to provide working capital to support cash flow for businesses right now. So there is a website and a web link that I can share to get that out to you in order to access that. There's some guidance on our state website on how to complete the application, or some guidance around that. I've worked with a number of clients right now in getting those applications completed. A couple of things to note. They just took the website down on Tuesday. It was down most of the day yesterday, and they've really revamped their website and the tools. And so there were a lot of individuals who were having a real struggle. The system was overloaded, as you can imagine. And so they've cleaned that up, made the process a little easier. The forms are now PDF fillable forms where you can upload and attach documents to and get that application submitted. A couple of things to know about that. That application process, or those loans, are up to $2 million, and anything under $25,000 does not require collateral for the loan. Anything over $25,000 requires collateral, and of course, federal government always prefers to have real estate as collateral. So if you're a business that has real estate, it'll make it a little easier. If you don't have real estate, they'll still do a loan, but they, again, prefer collateral, and they will take a second, third, fourth position if they have to in terms of collateral. These loans are not through banks. They are direct with the U.S. Department of Treasury. They're at an interest rate of 3.75%. There is a deferral for the first 11 months, which means payment number 1 is not due until 12 months from the date of signing of the paperwork. What's nice about this, I guess, is that businesses can go in, get all their documentation into the hopper, into process, and begin the process, and you can decline this loan at any point in time, up until the point of signing. And so the process right now, from a timeline perspective, the federal government has stated that they have 21 days to render a decision to the business owner, yes or no decision on the eligibility and availability of funds for the business. one thing to know about this loan is that in the process, and I haven't checked out the new revised copy, but previously they were not asking for the amount of money that you think you need. They're looking at 2 prior years of financial statements, tax returns, and current year financial statements, and making a determination based upon that information what the working capital needs are for the business. And so they will kind of give you an indication of how much they think the business needs, and then there's I think there's some dialogue that can occur once you get into that process. I will tell you that because we're not at the 21-day window yet, I haven't had any clients in that far into process to find out how much they're eligible for. Other terms of the loan are up to 30 years. So in terms of, if you were going to do a, $10,000 or $20,000 loan, you probably wouldn't take out a 30-year term, but on a significant loan, you might consider a 30-year term, which would help reduce the amount of cash going out of your business on a monthly basis. Again, these are working capital loans and intended to provide cash flow for the business. And this cash and loans can be used for payroll, including, so if you're structured as an S Corp as an example, and you're a business owner as an employee of the business, you can pull resources, you can pull cash and you can tap that for your own compensation, which is a good thing. Because of the process, 21 days for a decision, yes or no, and then there's once that decision is made, then there's a process for preparing the documents for closure of the loan. There are no costs associated with closing of the loan. That process, we don't know how long that's going to take. There had previously stated early on that process could be a couple of weeks. Again, depending on how overloaded the system is, it could be longer. Once the loan closing occurs, the cash disbursement is supposed to happen within 3 to 4 business days, and that will be done through direct deposit. So the second component of that, which was just released yesterday, is a bridge loan. And so the Federal Disaster Program is providing local lenders and local banks the resources to create a bridge. So businesses need relief and they need cash now. And so what they've done is they've structured a process with local lending community. The primary lenders will be those that are preferred SBA lenders, and we have a lot of those in the area. Citizens is one, Chemical Bank, Huntington, a lot of the big banks are. Citizens, I know, is a preferred SBA lender up in northern Michigan. So they will have the ability to create a bridge. So I think once that 21-day window in terms of a determination is made, they can provide that bridge financing, and that will be through the bank. So those are 2 products that are available right now. The other thing that's happening is the Michigan Economic Development Corporation has 2 products that